I don't think anyone's ever fully prepared for an ownership transition or a leadership succession. And in the cases we see this the most, it's from a transition in ownership from one generation to this, from the first founding or entrepreneurial to the second. And what I've noticed is if we come in and say in those scenarios, the first generation to the second, hey, here's all the pain points, here's all the gaps, here's all the things that are wrong with what's going on. There's very low openness to change, to be open to, for example, maybe their tax, their wealth, their legal advisory isn't coordinated or all communicating together. But if we come in and say, hey, this is a pain point, which I do want to name, this is a problem in transition when those advisory services are not coordinated and knowing the end goal or the exit and knowing the incumbent or those that are coming in.
If you had a magic wand that said, I'd love to meet a family, a business owner, X number of days, X number of months, X number of years before this targeted outcome, this targeted liquidity event, how far in advance would they be engaged with you and your team?
3 to 5 years.
Do people typically find that, or do you get calls like, I'm 6 months, I'm a year out, what can you do for me?
Early on in my career, it was mostly like triage. There was a lot of like conflict or concern, not a lot of planning, or I would say like holistic advisory services. But the reason I say 5 is because I think what's often missed is if the equity and the ownership is going to stay private, there's a missed opportunity related to the leadership side of the business. So what is qualifying and preparing and making ready the organization for the new leadership? What is preparing and making ready the ownership for the new governance and what's going to be required for decision making? And the reason I say 3 to 5 is because I think you need advisors. I mean, this is self-serving, but you need advisors that understand the complexity like you all do and we do of what kind of changes that could happen that could disrupt your plan, that could change the value of what you're trying to sell or tax implications or these other things that you're experts in.